I hope you guys are ready because this is a Nagito episode. So, DanganRonpa 3 Despair episode 4 is here, and well, it was something. First thing is first, you Nagito fans can finally stop being so salty, because he got almost a whole episode to himself. But the thing is, I don't know how to feel about this episode, and you will see why as I get into it, and I am sure I will get hate, because this was the weakest episode yet, and don't get me wrong, it's not a bad episode or anything. Anyway, let's get right into it. So our episode begins with everyone sad. As you know, this is after the Twilight Syndrome event. As I said in my stream last night, I just cannot picture this class going back into happy stuff anytime soon. It's all sadness from here. Chisa is telling them about a special exam they need to get, but it seems most of them are not in the mood. Nagito gets the idea of trying to stop the exam by asking Chisa, but she says it's impossible for her to do. So Nagito decides that he will do something about it. He has a plan to stop it. It will involve Seiko, and he gets Teruteru to tell him about her by bribing Teruteru with a Maison Liu magazine. I think this is the first time we get to see one of the characters from the 68 class in this anime. Anyway, Nagito meets Seiko and asks her to give him some kind of laxative for his plan. Now, let me get into Seiko. I will tell you this right now. To me, she was the best part of this episode. We finally got to learn what happened with her and Ruruka. Seiko was really cute in this episode. I actually ended up liking her, and we find out that she really did nothing wrong. In the episode, Ruruka visits her, asking for some drugs that she could use in her suites because she is also taking an exam and she wants to pass it. Here we get a clear look into how their relationship was before they started hating each other. To me, Ruruka feels like the type of friend that uses you for her gain. Ruruka uses her friendship with Seiko to get her to do stuff for her. Seiko does not seem too happy with this. The general feel I got is that Seiko is a nice person. Her only fault would be that she's unable to say no to Ruruka or people because she seems to always help people. Did you notice she helps Nagito and Teruteru? You know, this episode really made me like her. I really like her reaction to when Nagito praises her. She legit seems like a good person, unlike Ruruka. The reason the three of them get kicked out of Host Peak Academy was because of Nagito. As I already said, he got this huge plan to stop the exams. It involves using Seiko's pooping rock. At this point, I was behind his plan, to be honest. I did not see too much of an issue. But things changed for the worse. The moment Nagito decided to use a freaking bomb to blow the place up. He could have got people hurt by this stupidity of his. The guy is totally insane, and more reason to hate him, to be honest. There's no way you can sugarcoat what he did. But how does this plan of his get Seiko, Ruruka and Sajoya spell? Well, while Nagito was picking up the drugs, he took the wrong one. Also, he bumps into Seiko later, switching their school bags around, giving Seiko the one with the bomb controller in it. So the judges eat the candy. We get a comedic scene on how they change from blue to real characters. But then they start to chip themselves. Ruruka blames Seiko, but Seiko blames Ruruka, and that's how their hate started. The final nail in the coffin was when they press Nagito's bomb control by accident, and the whole place blows up. The three of them get kicked out of the school, all of this because of Nagito. The guy has no remorse, he's still happy about the outcome, with the whole place blowing up. It was a miracle that nobody died. They want to also kick Nagito out, like they should. I mean, the guy could have killed people by this stunt of him. But Chisa steps in and takes the blame, saying it was because of her not doing her job. So Papa Kyoko decides to instead suspend Nagito and make Chisa a reserve course teacher. After that, we get a sad scene of the 77 class. They are sad that she is leaving. We even get Sonia crying. The whole thing hits Chisa hard. She even cries while talking to Munakata. She really liked being a teacher for them, even though her mission required her to be a reserve course teacher. An interesting thing is when Nagito is still having no remorse for what he did. He starts talking crazy, so she slaps him in the face. She should have punched him instead, to be honest. And that's pretty much the episode, but there were a few things I want to point out. There was no Hajime in this episode. I guess the next time we see him, he will be Izuru. Also, there was a scene of Chiaki playing some game by herself, and it seems she cannot stop thinking about Hajime. It really made me feel bad for her, so I wonder how things will go down when Izuru comes into play. Another thing is Nagito. He's suspended now, and we don't know for how long, and I was thinking, this actually makes sense. This could be the reason why he never meets Izuru before DanganRonpa 2. One final thing is, what Nagito did in this episode relates to the novel about Naegi's worst day ever. So that's all I have to say about today's episode. To me, it feels like the weakest episode yet. I felt there was not much movement forward. I mean, there was some cool things, but something was missing. Future episode 4 blows this one out of the water. Hell, this episode did not even get a cliffhanger. The Nagito stuff was fine, but it's the usual Nagito who is everything shenanigans. I would have liked a more personal look into him. To me, the only cool stuff was the Seiko and Ruruka plot, because that actually builds up for next week's future episode. This is why I will be giving DanganRonpa 3 Despair episode 4 a 3 out of 5. Seiko is cute. I hope episode 5 kicks things into overdrive. They really need to. So, have you guys seen this one? If so, tell me in the comments below. Please remember to leave a like and check out my Patreon. This is Valwin, see you guys next week. Bye.